And welcome back, friends and well-wishers, to the Retrocade Podcast, episode 49. It's Phil and
Sean.
Yeah, good to be back. Great to be back. We're having a grand old time here, aren't we, Sean?
We had quite some technical difficulties.
Oh, we had quite a few technical difficulties, but nonetheless, we are here, and
We're here. We're ready. We're
Well,
ready
well,
we'll ever be.
Well, the whole studio almost got destroyed before we
Literally,
started
in
this.
a sinkhole.
This whole table got destroyed. All of the valuables.
Beers, coffee.
You think like all of these collectibles were on the ground, just getting destroyed.
Wires and tangles.
Wires, and then of course like a full coffee and like a 30-ounce coffee and like a pint of beer, and the whole place was
Flying.
a disaster. Yeah. Thank God, like some of the higher end collectibles that we have on the table weren't destroyed.
We had to throw out some Pokemon cards.
Yeah, we had
I think that
first
was,
edition Pokemon cards that we had
that
to.
was more of the casualties.
Yeah,
but,
that was definitely one of the casualties. The high end Pokemon. 'Cause some were first edition.
We had to figure, some of the wires are got a little banged up. But,
Yeah.
Here
Oh,
we
yeah.
are.
USB cable got all shungad.
Here we
Got
are.
all
So
shoddy.
got a lot of topics to discuss. So keep it short and sweet.
A lot
though.
of topics. So,
So we could start
where
with
could we
the-
start? Where could we
We
start?
can start with the most relevant kind of word on the street was the whole GameStop movement.
Oh, GameStop moving. Can't forget about an important thing like GameStop.
And just the kind of emergence of expert stockbrokers on Facebook.
Oh, well, who isn't a stockbroker in 2021?
And we won't mention specific names, but
we won't? Well, we should.
we have people that are like, bro, you should just stick to watching your Yankee games. I don't need to hear your stock tips.
Everybody was a stockbroker on the internet for like a week and a half, right? Or
It
at
was-
least that week, right?
It went from being like political,
Yeah, it was political hell for the first week of January or the first few weeks of
then it
January.
went to stock
And then it
tips.
went to stonks with Reddit and GameStop.
And they say,
and
"To the
AMC.
moon!"
Everybody was to the moon,
But it's to the moon of you losing all your money.
Yeah, it's going to 400. It's going to 1,000.
It's going to 1,000, bro. I'm
Yeah.
buying shiz.
Yeah,
Robin Hood.
The irony was that like that week I ended up buying more shit from GameStop like for no reason. I was just like, oh look their website. They got like cheap Pokemon toys, Star Wars toys and
you're
stuff.
like, oh, this is cool.
I went into the store and bought something, and it just was coincidental, or maybe I guess because of it, it was in my mind. But actually, their website is fairly cheap for Star Wars figures. Sometimes they have deals and stuff.
I peruse GameStop. I
Yeah,
like
the
to do the
website's
brick
not
and
bad.
mortar.
I went in the one in the mall, and I bought what's it called, the Jedi Fallen Order, and
How is that game?
I've yet to play it.
Still
I've
playing
no time.
Cyberpunk. I play very.
Oh yeah, how is Cyberpunk?
I love it.
Yeah.
I play casual. I play 5 hours.
Assuming
a
you're
week.
not playing it on the PS5.
PS4. No.
Oh yeah.
I'll get a PS5 probably 2 years down from now.
Sure. Who wants to pay
But-
8, 9?
Yeah, stock
100.
gurus left and right.
Oh yeah, everybody was a broker and an
Stocks,
analyst. AMC, BlackBerry. Our good friend of the cast, Steve, bought BlackBerry. He bought it at a
Yeah.
solid 20 a share, and
8
it went-
days before after he should have bought it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
So
yeah,
What's BlackBerry trading at now?
it's probably 11 a share or something like that. Let's take a
Alright,
gander
so he
real
only
quick.
lost half of his
He
investment.
only lost half his money.
Good.
That's not bad, right?
But him like
It
doing
is 13 a share.
him
so-
buying meme stocks that he's known nothing about to fit in.
It's just because everyone's. It's like
it was the hot.
You just
topic.
like to be trendy, right? I didn't get into people were asking me because I fool around with stocks, and people were, yo, did you buy GME? And I was like, no, I'm not going anywhere near any of the meme stocks. I mean stocks. Of course, you could make a buck, but it's like you're just gambling.
So
I'm like,
funny story. John Lamberti told me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say a friend of the cast, but friends of the cast.
Friend of the cast.
That Gary's cousin owned like 200 shares at $12 at Game and sold it in like November because he's like, yeah, I'm done lowering this money. But he had about 200 shares at $12 a share. He bought them at.
I should have held till 300 a share.
You would have made a nice fucking.
Who would
chunk.
be holding it though at $12? Like, because it was the company was so weak. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's I wouldn't have been holding that at all. But if you were somebody who had it like last April when it was like at $3 a share or $8
And it
a
came
share,
to 400. you
yeah,
made
almost 400.
a fucking killing.
Sure.
But that's the thing. You gotta be on the wave before the wave even hits.
Well, of course. Once it's people are talking about it like
Well,
publicly,
when
like
your
you know.
mother is asking you about
Right.
GameStop stuff,
I heard about this GameStop.
it's too late.
Should I buy into this GameStonk?
What's GameStonk?
Stonk. What's this GameStonk? Oh, it's good. Buy in. Yeah, that
But,
you're long behind.
It's funny because you're gonna look 20 years from now. There's gonna be like economic textbooks in college.
Yeah, this will be mentioned. Yeah,
This is a big
because the little guys beat the hedge funds that were
you
short.
had the hedgies sweating for a minute, but they're
Yeah.
back to laughing. And
Yeah, I mean, some of them lost a few bucks, but you know, you can't beat City Hall, right? You can't beat Wall
you had
Street.
Stephen Cohen, the owner of the Mets, arguing
Yeah,
with
He was,
Barstool.
I'm
on
just
Twitter.
trying to make a living. He's
Trying to
worth
make a living.
$16 billion. Like,
trying to make a
I'm
living.
just trying to make a living. Like he's like some working class schmo.
And then like all his like advisors like delete your Twitter.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. Yeah, he got off social media after that.
And,
Yeah, well, obviously you
he
should.
owns the Mets now, so he's in the public eye more than ever.
I'm just trying to make a buck. I'm just trying
But
to
really, you're just trying to make a living.
Well, it just goes to show you that when rich people are overshorting a stock by 140%, then they should probably get the shaft that they
now all the
deserve. Get what you deserve.
exactly. It's like the
Yeah.
But now all the fucking advisors are like, we can't short people because they're just gonna go in with pitchforks.
Well, you can't short over because the thing was that they shorted over the amount of stock. Not to get into this bullshit. Remember, like
we'll keep it light. We'll keep it light.
Yeah. But like, in other words, shorting the stock was just betting for it to go down. But you do have to borrow the stock when you make that bet. So with what they were betting 140% of what was available. So 140% means that they were betting 40% more than what was actually available on the market to short. So technically they were shorting naked or double shorting, which really some of that you're not supposed to do. I don't know if the SEC is going to get involved in that if it was
Well,
shorting
the
naked.
SEC will certainly be involved.
They'll be involved.
Hood was
They'll
just
probably
flagrantly breaking laws.
And Robin Hood. Well, I mean, that goes so deep. A lot of the shit that they did was very shady. The fact that they are essentially owned by Citadel. Citadel invests in Marvin Capital, which is one of the shorters. So there's a lot of like bedfellow back end bullshit going on there, you know. But so there are official excuses that we had to stop people from being able to sell their shares at GameStop because we weren't properly capitalized because our clearinghouse, blah blah blah. And it was like, yeah, maybe so, but. You know, despite all that, it does seem shady because of all of the back ends, like handshakes that I had. Like I said, Robinhood's owned by Citadel, which was.
They also got $1 billion in one day.
I mean, they got money injected to them by Citadel. I believe Citadel was one of the companies that injected Marvin Capital, and the other, also what was it called? The other hedge fund that was shorting it.
It was amusing that a lot of people were like looking to buy stocks in businesses that were just
failing
derelict.
business. They were all derelict businesses.
So it's like,
well, it had to be derelict businesses because those are the ones get short.
We'll get Sam Goody stock,
Chevys, Game Shack. Yeah. What else we got?
Radio Shack.
Shack.
Western Beef. They're a hot ticket.
Yeah.
Those are some stocks.
Yeah, we're gonna go get Ames, Kmart stock.
Essentially anything you did in the year 2001.
Yeah.
Let's fucking buy stocks.
Let's get it. We're gonna get Beefsteak Charlie stock.
Ooh,
or
the Sizzler sounds
Sizzler
promising.
Stock. Yeah, prime stuff
So
right
it
there.
was amusing that.
Oh, of course. It's amusing to see rich people lose money and freak out.
Everyone being involved in stocks out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, everybody was
everyone and their mother were discussing stocks.
Yeah.
But I think the parade has kind of sailed.
Yeah. Oh, well, again, like you said, they were doing it with derelict stocks. Well, the derelict stocks are the ones that were getting overly short because the hedge funds are like, well, this stock is clearly going to fail, so I'm going to bet for it to go down because we all know that AMC is in a really rough patch. BlackBerry is not doing so great.
I was reading
GameStop, of course.
AMC essentially survived because
that's true. AMC wisely sold $300 million worth of shares that they had so now it's like, well, we have some capital now to survive a little longer because when it went up, they had shares on hand that they unloaded
they got
at
enough
peak price.
capital to survive another year, and that's all they needed.
Yeah.
Because a year from now, movie theaters will be
So
operational.
this did help them. I don't know if it helped so many of the people that bought those shares, other than if it was the hedge funds that had to cover. Because when you cover your short, that means oh fuck, I'm losing. The stock's going up. I'm going to lose infinite amount of money. I have to cover my short position. Covering means they have to actually buy that stock. So buying the stock makes it go up even more. You know, because they're buying stock. Buying it makes it go up. You know, because there's especially it's over 100%, because all these hedge funds have to scramble to buy whatever available shares there are. Oh shit, it's 20 a share. Well, I have to bet. I need it, so I have to buy 21, 22, 23 because they all upbid each other. So that's how the stocks it soars even higher because they yeah, but that's what makes the skyrocket. It's an exponential rise.
You got this famous character, Deep fucking Value.
Who's that?
He was like the guy that wears the headbands. He's from Boston. He was like the guy behind the whole GameStop movement.
Oh, was he? I don't know who the Redditors
he said he
were.
lost, so he's like the famous Deep fucking Value, and they nicknamed him Diamond Hands. He's like, you got
I heard of the names, but
so his
I didn't give that many shits about the
handle's
Redditors.
called Deep fucking Value. That's his handle, and he's just like 35-year-old dude lives in Boston, like basement, and
I like him already.
he bought $50,000 of GameStop shares like 6 months ago, and was like, "This is where it's going, and we got to stick it to these motherfuckers."
Sure. Well, you see somebody like that who the SEC might investigate him though, because anybody on the especially it's easier to screw the little guy. So if there is a particular little guy that they could point out that was pumping for manipulation, then they might.
He's essentially the figurehead of the movement. So his name's Deep Fucking Value.
I thought it was the Wall Street Bets guy, the kid who created Wall Street Bets, whoever the fuck that is.
He's one of the main admins of Wall Street Bets.
Because obviously Wall Street Bets turned into an 8 million person subreddit in a week.
This guy is one of the admins of Wall Street Bets, and he's one of like the celebrities of Wall Street Bets.
Oh, he's a celebrity. Yeah.
So he's the figure. He's the face. So when they make a movie, he's gonna be the main character.
Oh yeah, they sold the rights to the movie. They're gonna make a movie of it.
It's gonna be
like a little dinky Wolf of Wall Street, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have like Michael Cera's gonna play him.
Yeah.
Or some
Exactly.
Like,
Jonah Hill and
Jonah Hill's gonna be his like fat friend.
Let's fucking raise the stock. $50 million in 2 hours.
You're gonna have like Matthew McConaughey the stock hedge fund guy. He's gonna be like, "Let's fuck."
Yeah. We're gonna kill these little stock shits.
We already did the casting of the movie.
It's already done. It's already been announced.
McConaughey's gonna play.
Matthew McConaughey will be the hedge fund guy.
You're gonna have these nerdy fucking dudes
that are the
Redditors
that screwed the big guys in the movie event that no one's gonna direct to Hulu.
So yeah, so speaking of movies and AMC, I found this really funny stat today. So the number one grossing superhero movie of 2020. You would never believe it. You're thinking, all right,
tell us, Sean.
Wonder Woman.
Tell us, Sean. Wonder Woman 1979.
Yeah, abortion.
1984.
Sonic the Hedgehog was the number one grossing.
How is that possible? Nobody saw
movie.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Financially, I guess, because of COVID, it was the number one grossing.
When did it come out? What was the exact date? Did it come out during COVID?
I think it came out maybe like February or something of 2020.
Oh, it soared. Perfect timing.
You had Harley Quinn in the movie theater. I think that was the last movie I saw in the movie theater.
Oh, man. Harley Quinn and the Hornets of Birds of Prey.
The fucking feminist. Harley Quinn, the feminist agenda. And it was... I saw
didn't see it.
It was marginal. It was better than Wonder Woman.
Should we move into Wonder Woman?
So this is the first of many on the HBO Max, which they're fucking the movie industry big time.
Naturally.
Going straight to HBO Max. And I have HBO Max. I enjoy it.
Sure.
Godzilla vs. King Kong's coming out next month. I'm very excited for that movie.
Very excited.
But yeah, why am I going to the movie theater and I can just go watch it on my phone?
You don't think the experience of going to see a movie is...
I miss it.
Do you think enough people miss it where it can survive?
It will survive. I think COVID will inevitably change it forever.
Change it how, though? We could be sitting seats away from each other. How does it change
going to streaming instead of theaters, it's not going to be... You're not going to be like, all right, why the fuck am I going to go to the movie? And you're a family of 4.
For the experience. Well, I know, a family of 4. I know.
Buy jugs of popcorn and X.
Oh, it's $100 event, at least.
Like me and you, we like brick and mortar. We like
it's a different,
dying trends.
It's the old world, yeah.
We we're retrocade for a reason because we support old world entertainment activities.
We support old world entertainment, old world stocks, old world electronic boutique.
So I was sponsored by Sam Goody.
Yeah, sponsored by Sam Goody and the Wiz. Yeah.
But no, I enjoy the movie theater experience.
Sure, well, that's what I'm saying. Me too. I get what you're saying. Of course, it's obvious. It's so much
Think
easier
about your
and
son.
cheaper.
He hasn't been in a movie theater yet.
No, I wouldn't put a 2-year-old in a movie theater anyway. But
well, you put him on an airplane, so
yeah, they sleep on an airplane. In a movie theater, they might try to run around.
No one else is sleeping. Maybe he is.
Yeah.
But yet AMC, from this stock exodus, they survived.
Yes.
Regal, look at Regal. They opened a giant movie theater in the South Shore of Staten Island.
What about what's it called? The house? Alamo Draft House.
It was supposed to be open already. They're like,
so you're saying that it might not?
No, it's gonna open. They just were like, let's put it on ice.
Well, because of COVID. I know that whole lot. It was supposed to be open. There's a whole they rebuilt. In fact,
ShopRite's the only thing open right now.
I know from that Kmart video on our RetroK channel. Check my the Death of Kmart video. In that video, I would go to that lot.
I
But that lot
regret-
was leveled since then. The Kmart's
actually
gone, everything's
regret
gone,
this
and the
isn't-
ShopRite is in place of the Pathmark and the Kmart.
I
that were
regret
there.
this is actually your fault, not mine. 'Cause I mentioned let's do it, and you were like, "Yeah, let's do it," and it was too late.
Sears.
Sears.
Yeah, there's other Sears. We can. There was even a Kmart still around in Northern Jersey, which I want to check out since closed. You got to really jump on them. They're dropping like flies. So if you don't, it's nice to talk. Oh yeah, we'll do Sears. A month goes by, 2 months, and it closes. You know, it's not like they're going to be around
Is there
forever.
any Kmart still in Jersey?
There is, I
In the
believe.
Jersey Shore, correct?
There's one. I think there was the one near
we have to
Long
go.
Branch. Had it since closed.
That's
it
what we
was.
were.
It was a big K too.
Ooh,
Yeah,
big K.
Big K. And I do believe there is another one not too far that still exists, but you know what?
All right,
check your Google
Well, let's
because
do a
it might be
retrocade
closed.
road trip because
Yeah.
we're running out of time.
We're running out of time. That's the problem. They're gonna
It's like
they're
this
gonna go.
dinosaur's on his deathbed. We gotta go visit.
They're
him.
on life support and they're about to be taken off. They're gonna pull the plug on these places soon. You know. So.
Well, I mentioned to you on, I think I sent you a picture on Forest Avenue. It used to be in the Pathmark Shopping Plaza, Majors Records.
Yes, yeah, I know Majors.
So
Yeah.
they relocated and they sell like VHS tapes and fucking a lot of schlocky vintage
Yeah,
stuff.
my parents go there a bit. Yeah.
So I think we gotta put that on.
Yeah, we should
the
check
retro list.
Majors. Yeah, I
And
know.
also giving a little Staten Island business some
Oh yeah, give it a little.
publicity.
Yeah, yeah. Get nice. They'll get 100 people that see it and like, who cares?
We'll generate about $50 in
Generate about
sales
50
from
bucks in
our
sales. Yeah, oh, I
Retrocade
saw you
blog.
on Retrocade. I'll buy this old VHS.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, this old VHS of Eraserhead or Silence of the Lambs.
I actually bought Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze,
Oh,
at Majors, approximately 1998.
that's good. So should we segue into where I would get the? We were talking about classic Star Wars figures as we have the
Okay.
the classic Star Wars figures on the table here. So I bought this. This shit almost got destroyed about an hour
Very,
ago.
very narrow.
This whole studio was destroyed an hour ago. Not even
Is-
kidding. This whole table got destroyed. The table buckled.
We had a 2-hour delay.
There
in
was
production.
coffee and beer fucking everywhere. It took us 2 hours to clean it. So this is the original 1977 Star Wars
It's
set.
a beautiful piece.
Beautiful piece. It's the display actions. This action display set is what it was called.
So when I was here, I was fiddling with it a little bit, just kind of, experiencing it.
Yeah.
And there's a little gears where the figures can slightly.
Yeah, you could
jive.
kind of you show them off. It's a display set, action display. You know?
Um,
So you show them off. So these are the original. They call them their first 12. Their first 12 Star Wars figures that were
What did
released.
that retail? So I'm gonna guess 79. Was that released? 78.
It was released, I believe, in '78. The display set was not released. It was a mail-in, 6 proofs of purchase, and then you mail it. You get a mail-in.
the
I believe it was General Mill. It was a General Mills tie-in.
Well, the mail-ins too were a key. Was the figures weren't ready yet.
Well, originally. So in '77, in Christmas of '77, there were no Star Wars figures ready for people to buy, and of course, it was huge demand. So what they had was the early bird certificate package, which was this package for I think it was $19.99 or no, it's like
It
$12.99.
came with 4 figures.
And it was 4 figures, but there was no figures. It was just a piece of cardboard, and then you send away for the figures because they
they'll
weren't
mail
ready
it
yet.
to you in like 9 months' time.
And they'll mail it to you exactly in like you
Imagine
get 'em-
being a 6-year-old like, I love Star Wars. And
Yeah.
you're like,
You have to-
"Ooh,
you
I'm
get this
gonna
for-
get these in the
You
mail.
get these for Christmas, and then 4 to 6 months later, you get it. The 4
I feel
figures.
attention
And,
span of 6-year-olds. Which
oh
they're
my
better
god, 6
than.
months might have been an eternity.
But
They were better
then
than
they're
yeah.
actually better because
Yeah.
nowadays they're on their iPads. and
Yeah, they want
can't-
it. They're on
can't
their
even watch a
iPads.
fucking TV
Oh,
show.
yeah. No, they want
They
that.
watch 3-minute clips of YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. There's no attention span. So imagine having to be a 6-year-old and wait 6
At
months
least
for your
back
figures.
then they had some patience.
Yeah, so that was the
It
original.
reminds me of the Christmas Story movie when he gets the Ovaltine, like the quarter pin.
Be sure to drink your
Where
Ovaltine.
he like checks his mail every
yeah,
day.
yeah,
like,
every day to check the
"Oh."
mail. Yeah, and then it finally comes, and
That
it's,
reminds me of the Ninja Turtle figures. There was like, it was probably $10 or $5. You can join the Ninja Turtles club.
yes, they had all those
So
clubs
you
back
mail,
then.
You mail in like proofs of
Pro-
purchase.
Brother, 10 proofs of purchase to become in the Ninja Turtles club.
And the Ninja Turtles club was like a bandana, some stickers, like
Right.
a membership card.
Membership
it was
card,
a bunch
maybe a little like ring with a turtle on
It
it.
was a bunch of junk.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
of course.
remember, I forgot what color my bandana was. I think it was blue,
There you go.
and I just thought it was like a generic blue bandana. It looked cool, but I never used. It was a bandana.
Where are you gonna wear it? Yeah, school
But I didn't realize they came out with bandana. They had
every
four different. No, they had 4 different color
for
bandanas.
for each turtle.
But you got one in
Per-
the 4.
right,
So
one per month.
I got the blue one.
Imagine if you have a full set, that might be worth something today. That might be quite collectible.
Yeah, it was. It also reminded the Burger King kids, though. Do you remember this?
I was not a party to the Burger King Kids Club.
Okay, so I think it was Freyr's $2. You sit in the Burger King Kids Club, right? You get us whole little membership kit, like a gift. The membership cards are big back then, apparently.
Yes.
But
Oh yeah.
You have to put your birthday in for the birthday card, the club, and you get a free kids meal on your birthday, but it has a date on it. So you have to use it on your actual birthday.
Well, yeah, that I would assume, otherwise you're going to be using it every day, right?
But I remember like eating Burger King on my birthday, and I was like,
Ooh,
7 years old.
That's like with Starbucks app, you get a free coffee on your birthday.
Well, the big birthday one is Rollin' Roast, which I haven't been.
Yes, you get to roll the thing. I actually still have a $5 coin from Rollin' Roaster. Rollin' Roaster is a well-known roast beef place in Brooklyn.
It's also right up Retro Kids Alley. It looks like the 70s.
Oh, they haven't changed the thing since '74.
And it's known for it's a very vintage fast food restaurant.
Yeah, it's also like a racket because you go there any time of day and there's a line out the door for the last 50 years.
And they're open till like midnight, so you go there.
Later than that. I think on the weekends they're open till like 2.
You go there late at night on the weekends to the drunk Brooklyn crowd.
Yeah, you get the drunk Sheep's Head Bay crowd, and it's packed to the gills. I went there recently.
Sheep's Head Bay, it's a lot more than that.
All of it. Well, it's
Brooklyn.
in Sheep's Head Bay, Brooklyn, but it's everybody in Brooklyn.
You go there during the day, you have a lot of families. And you go there at night, you have a lot of drunks.
Yep.
But
yep. You go lunch people, families, whoever.
I love it. If I lived in
it's
Brooklyn,
classic.
I'd eat there probably once a week.
And we're starving, so we're starving.
That
Rollin' Roaster
sounds-
hit the spot right now.
That sounds pretty enticing.
It's a classic place, but
You ever been to Brennan and Carr?
Of course, I went to Brennan. Brennan and Carr's another roast beef.
They're
place.
closed at like reasonable hours, but they're another.
Yeah, they're not
just
as
nearby. They're
It's a couple blocks
10
away.
minutes from each other.
I've ate there too. That's more sit down though. You don't really
well,
get
they
it to
also
go.
have
the window.
No, they have the gravy. They dip.
Oh,
the gravy.
the roast beef
Au
sandwich
jus.
is au jus roast beef sandwich.
And then
Yes.
you ask them how much you want dipped. Like, do you want it wet?
I want it soaking.
But no,
They're great too.
phenomenal.
Very similar. I'm probably more of a Rollin' Roaster guy just because.
I think Rollin' Roaster's better fries. And
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's
sides.
selection. Yeah, we got
Actual roast
shakes,
beef in
the
question,
corn fritters.
The actual roast beef specifically, I think, is better at Brennan.
Potentially, yeah,
But
potentially.
Rollin' Roaster's a better experience.
Rollin' Roaster better is more of the crazy wild experience, and because there's so much stuff on the menu. You think it's a fast food joint, and then that'll be $38.75. I never walk out of there like
Well, the key is though, you order together and you get a free pizza.
that. Well, yeah, $35 or more, you get a free 12-inch pizza.
It's like
I
a
always
high
get
quality frozen pizza.
Yeah, it's like a
good.
thin. It's for free. It's fine. I think. What is it if you have to pay for it? It's like $7.
It might be $6.
Yeah, it's just a little personal pie, but you get it for free.
I would never buy it, but you get it
I've
for
never
free.
bought it, but we always get it for free.
So you pull your orders in
Yeah.
and you order.
Yeah, exactly. You get only 2 people really need to pool it, or you can
Yeah.
do it on your own. Because I'll usually get 2 roast beef sandwiches, corn fritters, the cheese fries, a drink.
fritters are
It's like
good.
fucking 6,
The
12,
orangeade, the
18.
orangeades.
Orangeade's a great choice too. The fresh lemonade and the fresh orangeade are great choices.
They actually had one in Manhattan and Staten Island.
There was one in Staten Island briefly. I'd never been to the one in Manhattan. And the Staten
They
Island
said
one
it
is
was
gone
in
in
the
the
Village,
90s.
which I'm thinking, man,
Be a racket, right?
from ages 21 to 25,
The NYU crowd would
I went to
be
the
a
Village.
racket.
That was like my go-to bar city experience.
Same, constantly.
Imagine being there.
Either
wasted.
Second Avenue or the Village ones.
I
Like
think McDougal was like the big.
yeah, or 3 Sheets, but mostly like you said the
They
the
closed
Village
that
ones.
McDonald's. That the
I
famous
know, God,
McDonald's.
well, I know. I used to play at the Himmel Courts right across the
And
street,
when
West
we
Fourth.
were in high school kids, that was our meal because we had no money.
Oh yeah, I had been there recently, like within the last year or so. I went in there.
It reminds you of the infamous Camel cigarette tin.
Oh yeah, me, you, and friend of the cast Steve got the Camel
So
Crush
these
cigarettes,
are like
the flavored ones.
These are before vapes, but they were like
Long before. This is
candy
like
tasting
This
cigarettes.
was like 2003, 2004.
We were buying them
18
illegally.
years ago. Yeah.
But,
And who is like Steve, but they were like really flavored, not like today where.
they were like cherry vanilla.
Yeah, it was like
and,
cigarettes that were super flavored, like sweet.
And they came in like a fancy metal tin.
Yeah,
and
a
they were
little
a little
tin.
more expensive.
Yeah, premium offering.
Back then, cigarettes were probably like $6 a pack, and these were like $10 a pack.
Yeah,
So
something like
and
that.
in modern equivalency, these would probably be $20 now. I would
Yeah,
say.
literally, probably like because what are cigarettes now? It's like $14 in New York City.
So yeah, that was the whole Village experience.
Oh yeah, that was part of it. I would go and play handball. You guys get Camel Crush cigarettes because they would give them to anybody in Manhattan, and then you had the McDonald's right across the street. But next to it was all those bars that we would go to.
Also was a good spot when you had no money and we were in the Village hanging was Gray's Papaya. It was fantastic.
Oh, of course, yeah, I did
It
Grace
was by
Pie a
that
number of
movie
times.
theater. I don't remember
Yeah, the movie theater right across the
They
street
played
there,
a
right?
lot of like indie. I never actually physically
yeah.
went to a movie.
I never went in there, but it still exists.
They're all-
That's a well-known movie theater. I think it's a
it's like a lot of NYU film things.
Oh
going on.
yeah, a lot of stuff. That's right across the street from the Westforth handball courts.
There's a
basketball courts.
famous story of that movie theater that Todd Phillips, who directed The Joker, The Hangover, all these things. When he was an NYU film student, he made his film product because to graduate, you have to make like a final film.
Right.
So he did a G.G. Allen documentary.
Oh, Gordon.
And it came out right before G.G. Allen died. So G.G. Allen went to like the premiere of the movie, and he died like a month later, which only hyped out the documentary even more.
Naturally, right?
But they said at the physical documentary, which was at that movie theater, because that's where they filmed it.
Yes.
He was there, and he lived in the village. He was like a gutter rat bum.
Oh yeah.
Just doing shows and living out of hotels and people's apartments.
Throwing feces at people.
They were like shit-faced drunk at the movie, throwing beer bottles at the screen,
God.
laughing and causing a disturbance. Because, like, they said, all right, you get 30 tickets to the movie theater. So he came with his entourage, and they just, like, destroyed the place. But it was that movie theater, which I find pretty interesting.
That movie theater is also, you can see that movie theater in Carlito's Way.
Very a lot more than this bunch of films.
There's a lot of films. It's the it's now it's the IFC. It's the IFC. It's on 6th Ave right there. It's Avenue America.
So IFC.
Yeah, here, see this one?
Yeah,
Yeah, right across the street is
the
the
cable
cage, the handball courts.
IFC's they bought it. That's their cable channel.
Right.
They bought it recently, within the last like 6-7 years. It used to be something else.
Right.
The cable channel IFC's known for Portlandia was their biggest show. I think it's called Independent Film Channel. That's what it stands for.
Okay.
But yeah, it's independent film theater,
Yes.
and it's like a New York City landmark, so they bought it.
Yeah.
Which I think is good marketing.
It was originally
Before COVID, of course.
Yeah. What was the original name of it? Because it is the IFC Theater. But did it have a different name originally?
It did, because IFC bought it when we were hanging out in those
Which
haunts
is
as teenagers.
under AMC, of course. You know, IFC is a.
But yeah, when we were hanging out in those haunts as like early teenagers, that was definitely something else.
Oh yeah. The original Back to the Well, a documentary for Clerks 2 was first screened there. Bob Weinstein was in attendance.
Clerks 2. You know they're making
Clerks 3. They've been talking about it for so long.
I heard it's in development.
I don't know if I've ever talked about this in the podcast. Me and friend of the cast Jay went to a cake show at the Starland Ballroom in New Jersey.
Cake the band.
Cake the band.
I'm thinking like you're going to a cake
we
show.
We went to a cake show.
Like,
we were tasting
cake chef.
We
like,
were cake
buddy?
tasting. They were delicious. No, we went to the band
You
Cake.
guys getting married or something?
Short skirt, long jacket. We went to see the band Cake, and
that had to be years ago.
2012, something like that. That's what I'm saying. So it was like maybe 8 or 9 years ago. 2012, 2013, around that area, and I don't know if it was before or after they got destroyed by Hurricane Sandy. I don't remember, but it was around that time frame. So what happened is, there's a guy in front of us on the floor. We're on the GA floor, Cake, and I'm like, "Fuck is that?" I was like, "Look, Jay." And he was like, "What?" I was like, "That's fucking Dante," and he was like, "Who?"
Who the fuck's Dante?
I'm like, "Brian O'Halloran." He's like, "Who?" He had no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I was like, Dante from fucking
He's probably
Clerks.
eating a slice of pizza. Like,
Yeah, exactly. You get pizza and a beer in there. You just know what the fuck I'm talking about. It's just some guy in front of us with like graying hair. He's like, "Who the fuck are you saying?" Like, I don't know this guy.
Brian
O'Halloran. Who the fuck are you talking? I'm like, the Dante from fucking Clerks. He's like, "Oh." He's like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." So after the concert, which was very good, by the way, they don't allow video. In fact, I took my phone out for 1 second.
You need to leave.
Unbelievable. You know, it was at the end of the show too.
I
And I'm
like that, though. I like that.
Yeah, I guess. But they no allowing video. So anyway, we get out and we're all walking out and we're in the parking lot, and Jay fucking was like, "Oh, yo, Dante." And
He's like another of these fucking
and I'm like, his name's Brian, like, and then he's like, "Oh, hi." And then some guy with like a Jets jersey walks past, and Brian O'Halloran's like, "Oh, go Jets," because they played that day. And the guy was like, "Yeah, whatever." I don't. He had no idea who he
like,
was.
Fucking
Yeah, I just remember like him not. I'm like thinking in my head, I was like, "This guy's was in Clerks." He's giving him like the shoulder, but
Jets are actually good in like 2010. So.
Yeah, I think they lost that day, but it was.
Did you go on a Sunday?
It was the concert must have been on a Sunday, yeah, and So we started talking to him. He was nice, and he's like, "Oh yeah," and Jay was like, yeah, like smoking a cigarette. He's like, "Oh yeah, so when's Clerks 2 coming? Clerks 3 coming out?" He's like, "Eventually." He's like, "Kevin's writing it." We were like, "What?" Yeah, and this is 9 years ago, and still nothing. But long story short, he lives on he was like, "Oh, I'm going back to Staten Island." He's like, "Oh, get out of here. We live in Staten Island too."
Nice.
Yeah, he apparently lives on the South Shore of Staten Island, so. With his wife, and she was there too. But he was a nice dude, Brian O'Halloran. Very respectful.
Clerks
you know.
2 just sucks so much that
I didn't dislike Clerks 2. I was not as good as the first one, but I like Clerks 2.
I didn't. Clerks 1 is a cult
Cult classic. I saw that as a kid because Dave
37 dicks in a row.
37. And then they have that conversation about Star Wars, which is fun.
It's
the whole
funny.
movie's fun.
Is
We should pass by there. The Quick Stop
people
is not
actually
far away.
called me the Truly's gum salesman.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
I was always like promoting my beer products when we
Sure,
were like in group
sure.
outings, like drink Budweiser.
Right.
And then they're like, "What are you, the Truly's gum guy?" Like, you know.
That make perfect.
It's
Yeah.
like, so anti-smoking's terrible. Truly's gum.
Truly's gum. Yeah, that's great stuff. And that's
But
good
Kevin
stuff.
Smith lost a lot of weight, and he's just not as likable when he's.
He's better fat.
I like him.
We had
fat.
that heart attack, and he had to lose weight. You know.
True. Like,
Yeah.
it's better to be skinny than dead.
Skinny and alive than fat and dead.
But when he's fat, you like relate to. He's like a nerdy kind of
Yeah,
guy.
right,
and he's
right,
like
right.
from Jersey.
No, I get it.
Now when he's skinny, you're like,
Yeah. You're just another schmo.
yeah, like you want to have a nutritionist, you fucking loser.
You fucking Hollywood friggin' loser. Go hang out with friggin' Harvey Weinstein, you piece of. But apparently they said they were writing it. But again, that was like not. That must have been. You should look up Cake Starland Ballroom, and I'm sure it was 8 years ago.
People wearing Jets jersey in public, it had to be 10 years ago.
I know,
I
right? You
haven't
wouldn't
seen a
wear any
Jets
of those.
jersey in a long time.
Let's see, Starland Ballroom. I'm sure it was fucking so many years ago.
Absolutely.
Actually, it's hard to find it because it's because when you look up Cake, you just see pictures of Cake.
So to stay on current topics,
Go ahead.
this is what we
September
do.
22nd, 2013. So it's 2013. Wow. Okay. September
Almost 8 years
22nd.
ago.
So it should have been a Sunday because the Jets were playing that day.
Super Bowl. What'd you do? What'd you think?
What did
Tom
I think?
Brady's legacy is something else. I guess.
I'm sick of hearing people talk about how he's the best athlete of all time. The best athlete of all time.
I mean, winning 7 Super Bowls is something kind of unheard of and
Isn't that crazy though?
outlandish. But
That's a word you love to use.
I was actually rooting for the Bucks. I wanted the Bills to win, and then the Bills lost. So I was like, all right, fuck the Chiefs.
Yeah. Oh, so did you you have any boxes? You bet on the game? at all?
I had one $250 box.
There you go.
And I had 88, which are pretty shit numbers.
Right, and you still
And I won nothing. So
good on
that's
you.
pretty much how it resonated.
Yeah, I didn't bet. I just barely watched it. What'd you think of that?
The weekend halftime show?
Yeah. How'd you know, Sean? How did you know?
Well, you're not a much sports guy, so I figured you talk about the halftime show more.
Was there much of a game to watch anyway, though?
It was a SmackDown.
It was a SmackDown.
Was-
It was a SmackDown early too. It was not like
They dominated the whole game.
yeah, there was not much
It was
like
flustered. They
they were fucking off balance. Yeah,
I was reading reviews of the halftime show, and people said it was poor.
Yeah.
I thought it was okay. The problem is
I
too.
thought it was lackluster. I just thought it was. Is it because there was like the crowd was?
Well, this thing you can't have fans. Like usually they have like people, but
Yeah.
I remember last year's halftime show, which was Jennifer Lopez and Shakira.
People hated on that, but I thought that was a lot better.
Billion times better.
I thought that was a billion
and you
times
have
better.
hot Latin women dancing.
Yeah.
And doing all
That's
these
all you got. That's all
flashy
you need.
dances. And now I see the weekend with these guys have diapers on, they're dancing around.
Yeah, I just felt it was a little lacking energy, low energy.
Yeah, I thought it was poor.
Yeah,
I
low
thought
energy
it was below average.
below average, low energy for a Super Bowl.
He has a few catchy jams, but overall, I thought it could have been done better.
My mom was like, "But what weekend? The weekend was over. I don't understand.
You gotta buy that game stonk.
Is this game stunk? What week? The weekend's over. It's Sunday night. No, the weekend. But it's over.
It sounds
Tomorrow's Monday.
It does sound like dear old Sheila.
It's Sunday evening.
The game stunk.
You gotta buy that game stunk last week." Yeah, so that was what my impression of. I'm sure you went to a lot of Super Bowl COVID parties. You wore your face mask and your nachos.
I actually wore a very old Buccaneers jersey I had, the bright orange creamsicle,
Oh, that's
Trent
good.
Dilfer 96.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect.
People are like, what the fuck jersey is that? And it's bright, like fluorescent
Well,
orange.
you
or
love the flamboyant colors there, Sean.
I do like loud colors.
Speaking of loud covers, we have shirts on that are classic.
We got
I
some
got
nerd tees.
nerd tees. What do you got?
I got a Magic the
got
Gathering.
my Lucasfilm logo shirt on. What do you got, Sean?
I got Magic the Gathering.
So, your Magic the Gathering is interesting because it's all vintage
So,
packs.
It has 4 packs on it.
Tempest, Urza Saga, Mirage, and what do we got?
5th edition.
Ooh, let me see that fifth. Bring that
Pretty
over here.
cool looking pack.
Nice. That's nice. That's nice. Those are
So
nice.
we played 6th edition. We never played 5th.
We came at, well, I mean, 5th was played. It's just that the main core set that was playing at the time that we started playing in like 2000 was 6th edition. 6th edition had just come out. In fact, let's look at when that.
So they made up to, I think, 9th edition, and then they went to core.
No, they went. They got 10th edition. 10th edition exists.
Because now it's just core.
Yeah, now they just call it core. Yeah.
6th edition's iconic to me because I remember playing Friday Night Magic at Alternate Realm.
April 21st, 1999 was when 6th edition came out. My birthday of 1999.
And how the structure worked Friday Night Magic, you make a deck. Back then it was 3 packs.
You talk about with a sealed deck or? What are you
It
talking
was
about?
it was a 3-pack. You had, I think it was 3 packs.
For what? Sealed deck?
Friday Night Magic, whatever format. it was.
Well, whatever format might. Yeah, but then
Sealed
was that
deck 6-packs.
was that
now.
draft or then were you?
It was a draft.
Maybe 3-pack draft.
So
Yeah,
it was.
yeah, because you 3 packs and you.
I
go next
remember
pack.
it was
Yeah, yeah,
2
yeah.
masks and 1 6.
Sure, yeah, that's what you would do. You would do the main set and then a core. Those are good times. They didn't.
Fantastic
Yeah.
times. That was like the great Friday night when you were 11 years old.
Oh fuck yeah, man, that's good
Well,
stuff.
we were
yeah.
young.
Yeah, 11, 12,
Yeah.
turning 12. We were like the young. It's funny because I look at some
We
of
were
the.
the young kids there.
Well, we're babies because there's grown men playing. I'm looking at some of these guys because I'm thinking, man, I'm like, how old was this guy? And I'm like, he was 26. I was like, he looked like a 45-year-old man. And now they're like men that are 50. But I'm like, they weren't even that old. I'm well over older than them
Before
now.
COVID, about a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. So last January, February, I was going to some tournaments in the city on Fridays
For Magic.
for Magic.
Where were you playing?
In Midtown, they'd have great drafts.
JHU? Jim Henry's Universe?
It was called Modesty Comics.
Well, why wasn't I informed of this? This sounds like a Retrocade exclusive.
I think I invited you once, and you're like, I'm busy.
Well, I am busy.
But, I mean,
So you played some Manhattan. Did you go alone? You just go in a draft
I
on your
went
own?
alone most of the time.
Interesting. So that's the thing with me. Magic for me at this age is like time with friends to go just to like socialize with people. I don't. You know what I mean? It's different. If as a kid, I wanted to go out and play different people and be competitive, but now I'm like, time is so scarce. I'm better off using this time to
It
like
was like a Friday night where I had nothing to do.
completely
I'll be like,
dead. Yeah, I mean, listen,
fuck
if I had a completely ghost night Friday, that's
And
there you go.
I was a median age. I'd say people were 20 to 40 was the crowd.
Well, we were
But there would
definitely
be some,
young bucks.
There would be some kids there, like 15-year-olds, and they were like the babies of the group.
Sure.
But we were like 10-year-olds.
We were
so-
legitimately babies, yeah, because we were barely even in
I
middle
remember
school.
one of the drafts.
Imagine being like a grown, because I'm thinking in my head how I'm like that old guy was about 27, but they look like they were fucking 40. You know, the old guys that were playing now they're old men. They are
Well,
50.
if they were 27, 99.
We'll go and say 2000,
Okay, so they're 27, 2000.
37, 47. So
They-
they're not even that old now, but they look like old men.
They were like 14 years old when Magic came out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that was
those
like
particular
prime
guys.
time.
Like I'm talking about
my
some-
cousin Billy who
see,
listens to the
like
cast.
some of the names I could show you their Facebooks. You would probably never even recognize these guys, but I remembered who they were. I remember their names too, because you have everybody's name. Like when you're playing in these tournaments, you're gonna remember I would remember their full names. You know, whoever it was.
My cousin Billy who listens to the cast, he was around that age.
Yeah, he
when
was an
Magic
original
came out.
player,
And
right?
He had some. I mean, he got rid of most of them, but he had. If he kept his cards, he would have thousands and thousands of dollars worth.
Got to keep your original stuff, like your original Pokemon,
Famous
your original
story
Star Wars.
he told me was
Good thing we kept our Charizards.
he got ripped off. He was at a Comic-Con in like early 2000s.
Yeah.
And someone like ripped him off for his Library of Alexandria. Like, I'll give you $200 for it. And that card now you could buy probably $4,000 or $5,000.
Did you see the recent PSA 10 Alpha
Black Lotus?
Did you see what it just sold for on eBay?
I remember you sent me the link and I was discussing it. I forgot the sale.
It just sold. It was for $500,000.
So this
me
is
show-
the holy grail of Magic cards, Black Lotus.
Yeah, if you're anybody who knows Magic, I'm assuming our listeners know Magic the Gathering.
I
and
showed that
have
to,
heard of Black Lotus.
I showed it to a lot of friends of the cast, Comp, Max, etc. And he was like, "Why is that card good? I don't get it." And it's like 3 mana, turn 1, and he caught like
Yeah.
it's just absurdly broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sacrifice it, but you can pump out. People don't understand the power of the early cards. They're just an overwhelmingly powerful.
Here it is, the listing.
Wow. Grade 10.
PSA 10. Yeah, it's like one. I think it's. They say the population.
1 of 7 says.
Yeah, the population is only 7. Yeah.
So only 7 in the world exist.
7 PSA 10 alpha Black Lotuses. PSA 10 would be the top grading, the perfect gem mint condition. And there's only, they say, there's a population of 7, which mean that they have only graded 7 total gem mint.
And it's from 1993. You realize?
Yeah, and it's signed, but I believe just the outside of it is signed. Probably just the.
Oh, see, that's the thing. I don't never want you to. If it was great, sign the case. Great.
I think they signed the case. You can't sign the card.
No, it wouldn't be a 10 if it was.
I guess
income.
not, because I have a Charizard signed by Mitsuhiro Arita, and it's probably worth less. I gotta get them graded now.
I gotta, the grades are expensive, like $200 almost.
Well, that's why they're,
There's 2. There's
no, you can get. I mean, you can get a grade as cheap as 20. For
there's
PSA.
PSA and there's Beckett. Beckett's the other one.
Yeah,
because there's a famous Pokemon guy that gets his cards graded.
You took about Lionheart or whatever.
Lionheart.
Yeah.
And I guess he lives in Minnesota, and Beckett's located in Minnesota.
Well, there you go. You could just drive him on over.
He goes there and physically drops them off.
That's much better.
And that's the thing. If I have a fucking $2,000 card, I'm a little scared to put it in the mail.
Absolutely. I remember I worked for a company that did high-end Swarovski. And they had a $30,000 piece. They had a $30,000 Swarovski piece, and they were paying someone to personally drive it to the Midwest for the purchase. And I was like, geez, because they didn't want to send it UPS or whatever, even with signature and insurance. They were personally driving it to the person.
I would never put a $2,000 Magic card in the mail. No fucking way.
Yeah, I know, right? Is it like it is a gamble for sure.
And you can physically drop it off at the PSAs. But
there's none around here, though, right?
PSA's not in New York City. I'm not sure where it's located, but I think I'm driving to fucking Missouri or somewhere.
No, I would say that you are not. But that's the thing, yeah. But I mean, like for lesser cards, I mean, if I had like what my Charizards, or what was my Charizards worth? I haven't even looked. Like, what are Shadowless Charizards going for? Like 800 maybe.
You have a fucking ton.
I have 9 of them. Yeah.
I have 2. You
have 2 Charizards? Good on you. Yeah, or either Shadowless. Probably shadowed.
I'm gonna have. Well, actually, one's base set too, so I only have one.
Oh, well, all right. That's still worth something. It's still worth something.
I'm gonna have to send you a picture of my Charizard.
Yeah,
You're more of an expert Pokemon.
But even me, because the prices have changed so much in the last year, even I don't know what the fuck they're going for, because I haven't been actively looking.
It had like the stonk bubble in early COVID, so all these YouTubers were fucking.
Yes.
Vintage packs, bro. And it's like you weren't even born in 2000.
I know. There's so many Xenial kids Gen Z kids that are just. That are just because they're following the and everybody was saying is bro, you should sell your Pokemon cards now, because obviously it's a serious peak right now because of all the YouTube kids opening them, and even I
think the prices went down. I think.
Yeah, well, of course, I would assume they're going to normalize because it was a series.
No, Aaron Paul's the guy from Breaking Bad.
Jake Paul, Aaron, no,
some YouTuber. I don't know.
Not Jake Paul and the other Paul.
You think
Logan Paul.
Logan Paul, that sounds right. You think I fucking there's a couple YouTubers.
I don't watch these guys, but they're better. They're for Gen Z kids. They're not for us geezers.
We're geezers.
We're geezers.
I go on YouTube to listen to music.
I go on YouTube. I have I'm like Red Letter Media. Like, who do I watch?
We're geezers, man.
We're geezers. We're past the prime. Gen Z, go somewhere else.
Snap who?
Yeah, we don't
Snapchat.
know. TikTok. What the fuck is that?
TikToks. I have
TikToks.
Breath?
Bad breath.
Yeah, we're geezers now.
Yeah, we're geezers,
And it's sad, but
it's sad that we're old.
That's why we're like, oh shit, Kmart.
We are like the quintessential, I guess, kind of maybe millennial range, though. Maybe even millennials are kind of younger than us, though.
We're the old millennials.
We're oldish millennials. We're a little bit, but we're not Gen X. So
well, that's why, you look at the money you're putting down on these vintage figures. I'm getting my arcade started.
Yeah, Sean's building a fucking arcade here.
I got 2 cabinets. Woo. I need 5, so I'm almost halfway there.
You need 5. You must have 5. You're gonna get the Star Wars one? They have the Star Wars one.
See, I'm big.
I'm not a fan of the Star Wars one.
The games aren't that good. I played them.
They're not
kind of shitty.
No, they're not like.
So, actually, Flav,
Turtles.
A friend of the cast.
Yes.
He texted me, and actually I saw it, but he texted me. The X-Men arcade game, they're releasing that in the arcade one-ups.
Yes.
So that's a definite pickup.
Just X-Men?
No, there's 2 other games on it. Okay. But they're I'm not familiar. They're more obscure.
Sure. Yeah, I would love if they did Simpsons.
Yeah.
Talking to your mic, too.
It's getting the rights.
There you go.
They have a Marvel contract. They have a Capcom contract.
Yeah. Who owns the rights to the Simpsons game? Just Fox?
Konami.
Konami owns it. That game was great though.
Phenomenal
That's
game.
one of my favorites.
But this is the thing, right? They got to package it with other Konami games. Because you don't
Okay.
do one single
No, I know,
Simpsons
but
release.
I would love for the cabinet itself and the
the
Prime game, the light blue with the
also
Simpsons
had-
shit. That's a classic
It also had
game
the
cabinet. for
gritty,
Simpsons.
the old gritty Simpsons artwork.
Yes, yes.
'Cause that came out like season 2.
It was like season 1 or 2, right? It was
so
like
it had like
it was
the
like 90.
squiggly, shitty artwork.
Yeah, which
and that's
is
what makes it great.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't
Not
want
like
polished fancy
we don't need
shit.
new digital Simpsons. In fact, anytime I see like the HD version of a Simpsons
can't
episode, I'm like,
stand it.
next.
No,
I need
when
the
the
old
animation's
gritty.
disgusting. I love it.
Yeah, no,
Season 1, people hate season
Yeah,
1.
but
I
it's
love it.
so gritty and like.
Because if you pause it, things are out of frame.
Yeah, it's just
Color
like that.
shirts don't
cell
match.
animation is so poor and shoddy, but it's
Klasky Supo
great. Yeah, it's
was one of the animators.
okay.
That's they also did Rugrats, which is surprising.
Oh yeah, but Rugrats was similar like cell animation kind of. I mean, they all were in
Early
the 90s.
90s.
Obviously, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm definitely. It's we're wasting our adult money, but not wasting. I think we're.
No, these are investments, Sean.
Oh,
This is not a waste.
It's called To the Moon.
This is
you know.
fucking to the moon. We're taking our game stonks to the moon here. Can't you see these original? They're all in there. Oh, those are the original limited edition
And then
action
when,
figures.
When we die,
bet
our
my
kids
Wookiee-
can sell our shit.
Our
and be
kids
like,
gonna
this stuff
sell our
is
shit
lame.
for a third of the price. Yeah,
This shit's lame. And
yeah,
the
like
minute
go to
we,
an estate sale or a garage
the
sale.
minute we die, they're gonna dump all
all
of it.
gone.
They're gonna be
Selling
like,
my dad's garbage. Who
These
wants?
games are terrible.
These are terrible. Like, oh, you want these
Well, you look
guitars?
at my
$100
dad's
a
dumb
piece.
toys. Like, you think that any of our kids are gonna like our stuff?
No, but they
way.
will like the money that they'll convert it to.
for sure.
Yeah, if I keep it all till death.
I have a feeling you'll keep a chunk of it.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I have no intention of selling any of my collectibles anytime soon. So,
Nah, I mean, you fall in hard times.
but it better be really hard times if I start selling my Star Wars collection. But I did accumulate a little bit too much Star Wars during this COVID, right?
You've actually you spiked your purchases.
Yeah, I definitely.
We're
spent.
running out of room in the studio. A
You
table
think
almost
this-
went into a sinkhole.
Yeah, Sean's like, the load bearing of this table. Like, we got like 10 pounds of toys on this table. That did not take the table down. There was coffee and
Didn't help.
There was coffee and beer over everything. I don't know how it didn't hit the original action figures here. I was
Well, that's what we were worried
when I
about.
seen it, I was like, oh, the original figures, because everything else is encased, but even those can get
It's
fucked
funny
up.
because one of your cases was drenched in coffee.
Yeah,
And if you didn't have that case,
thank
I
God.
would have been
The only
had
one
to
that's
open
not
it.
in case is like bent anyway, so I don't give a
But
shit.
you would have taken off card if it was drenched in coffee. You might as well open the.
Might
figure.
as well peel it. Yeah, I mean this one. This is the Boba Fett. This got quite. Oh no, this is Din Djarin. I gotta wash the.
So that's
the
where
cases.
you got the other Baby Yoda figure.
Yes, he comes in the.
You bought a
packaging.
2-pack.
This is they call that a build-up set. I got a bunch of those. I bought up the store.
So I bought a Baby Yoda sing-on card.
I have that coming too.
I have it hasn't arrived
It's
yet.
pre-order. Yeah, I have that too. I bought 2 of those, one to open, one to keep sealed. But if you want one of these, Sean, at $20, I got a few of them.
I told you the only thing I want is your. This thing is mangled, dusty, ripped.
I got the
Imperial
Imperial
officers from like.
That one I'm holding on to.
That's the one I want. He won't give me a podcast discount.
No, there's no podcast discount. I'm holding on to that one. And I have some original stuff that'll unload, like a bunch of these Din Djarins that I
To
bought.
go from collectibles, we'll talk about some newer shows right now. WandaVision. Have you seen it?
Tell us, Sean. I did not watch it yet. I watched instead for some reason I watched Queen's Gambit.
Queen's Gambit.
Yeah, the one where the girl
I'm sure
plays.
your wife didn't influence that
The,
choice at
the
all.
one that plays. Actually, I seen she wanted to watch the Cambridge Analytica documentary, and I had actually already watched that when it came out. I was like, no, I don't
It's
want
about
to.
chess.
In the Cambridge Analytica one,
No, the
Queen's Gambit is about chess. It's about the girl that plays chess, who's like she's like a savant chess player.
so it's like a feminist story.
It's a
about,
feminist story, as they do on Netflix.
But it's funny because you see
I wouldn't
like
call it a feminist story. Just the protagonist is a female.
well, yeah, it's a fantasy.
I believe
show.
it's based on a true story, Sean. Actually,
Well, when you,
I don't believe that.
when you look at the top, listen, women are great chess players, but when you look at
Except for in reality.
when you look at the chess champions of the world, I haven't seen.
I
some.
believe she's up there. Actually, I believe so.
You know who's the most
know all
fascinating
the
chess
details.
character is Bobby Fischer. I don't know how familiar you are with him.
Not as familiar with Bobby Fischer. I don't really know too much about the professional
He's the
chess
only
players
man
of the
that
world.
went undefeated in the chess championship. He won I think he won 9-0 playing chess masters of the world.
Right.
And he won. It was during the height of the Cold War, and he beat Russia.
Ooh.
and they're the top best players in the world. He
Right,
beat some
right,
guy
right.
from Russia. So it was a big deal then because like U.S. versus Russia.
Oh, of course. Like Rocky 4.
And then he was a recluse, like off his mind, went off the grid.
Happens to a lot of those.
And then he eventually got deported because he was saying anti-Semitic comments and
Or
all
was
this
he?
other
Was
stuff.
it like the Red Scare because he was a communist? Or what year is this?
The chess? I would say late '60s is when.
Oh, it's perfect. Just right around
So
the Red
there's
Scare.
a movie that came out called Finding Bobby Fischer. It's a chess movie, a little kid, and it's actually a pretty cool movie because it's like he's playing. He's a little boy playing chess in like Washington Square Park,
Sure.
and it's all filmed in like the Village.
As they still play there at Washington.
And there's a
Square
lot
Park.
of like it's early '90s movie. There's a lot of big actors that were no ones back then.
Who? Anyone?
Lawrence Fishburne,
Ooh, Larry Fishburne.
William H Macy's in it.
Like me when William H. Macy.
There's two other guys. That
You make
don't-
me want to watch it. I like them.
It's
I
on
like those
Netflix.
guys.
I recommend it. And
Interesting.
if you're watching this with Lindsay, your wife, and she's looking at chess.
That's
kinda-
on Netflix.
I believe so. It's on
Interesting.
one of the streaming
Oh,
services.
take a gander on that.
So-
I'm actually interested. But not to diverge, tell us about WandaVision.
All right, so I didn't finish it. I had some friends talking about it, and generally,
How many episodes right now?
I think it was 5. So the 5th episode was a major reveal, and no spoilers. I don't know myself.
All right. Yeah, don't spoil.
But
I
it's,
haven't
it's
seen
an X-Men character
it. Ooh.
that no one ever would have thought.
So it's not Beast.
I don't know who it is. 'Cause I'm trying to power through to get to episode 5.
Sure.
And
Are they an hour long each?
No, about 25 minutes.
Really?
half hour.
Okay, maybe I might be able to bang that out
But
tonight.
I watched the first 2 episodes and they were fucking terrible.
I heard that
Very
it was bad.
dry. It was like an I Love Lucy lame sitcom, like black and white, trying to be funny.
It is black
retro.
and white?
The first 2 episodes are, and then they go to color as it progresses. And I'm just like, this sucks. This is not funny. It's boring. And I don't even like Vision to begin with. When Thanos
Yeah,
killed
those
him,
are some of my lesser favorite
when
characters.
Thanos killed him in the movie theater, I was cheering.
Good,
I
I'm
was
done
like,
with him.
Yeah, and everyone, and I was getting dirty looks.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I hate Vision. He's lame.
That's my favorite character in all the graphic novels. You
Uh,
asshole.
Yeah, Wanda is one of the Olsens. She's attractive.
Yeah, Elizabeth Olsen.
In the comics, Scarlet Witch is Magneto's daughter.
That's true.
So I'm thinking,
Gonna be Magneto?
I think Magneto's too bold to fucking appear on a
You
Disney
mean
Plus.
what's his name? Yeah,
Fassbender.
yeah, Michael Fassbender. Yeah,
I think that's too big of a name to appear on a fucking cameo on a Disney Plus show.
I mean, they've been having, I was thinking that originally too with a lot of I'm like, oh, they're getting them all streamed, but a lot of people are doing the streaming shows now.
Well,
A lot of big names are doing.
so yeah, I think this show is marginal.
But you
I'm
haven't
trying.
finished
I'm
it.
just powering through to see the reveal.
Yeah, we'll
I heard the reveal's epic. It's been talked about.
we're mildly interested on where WandaVision goes.
What's the newest show that's come out?
Yeah, of like the
Marvel
geek
Disney Plus,
superhero bullshit. I mean, we could talk till we're blue in the face about Mandalorian. We didn't even really go over the ending of Mandalorian. Now it's old news, right?
It's like, oh, we might as well say who, like, Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Yeah,
It's the
exactly.
same
Everybody
relevance.
knows. Everybody knows that Luke was, but it was good when it happened,
But
Sean.
if you want to discuss a little Mando, there's rumors that. So I hope these rumors are true that they're just going to erase the sequels that we experienced. The new trilogy.
Now I don't want them to do that.
Erase
though.
it from canon.
No, that don't make no fucking
But
sense,
it's
man.
Garbage.
Yeah, but you know what? So many people say the same thing about the prequels, though. So it's just like there's people that hate it all. You know what I mean? Just let it. It is what it is. Let it be what buzz, and that's it. And just go and just eat around it. You know.
Not just pretend it never happened and start over. I don't need Ray
Forget
being
about start
Superman.
because you can't start over. You know.
Easily.
The people are dead. You know what I mean? Like Carrie Fisher's dead. You're not getting Harrison Ford to come back. So they came back. They did this. There's no going around it.
You put Thrawn in, and we get a.
Yeah, but that Thrawn happens before them anyway, and he would have done even in like any of the Legends canon, he would have been long dead by the time the Force Awakens was a thing
Well,
anyway.
I
but
think
I like bringing in Grand Admiral Thrawn and definitely delving into all of the Legend stuff like of the 90s, Grand Admiral Thrawn,
So
and stuff like that. Definitely do a lot of Grand Admiral Thrawn, because he's one of the most beloved.
He's the hot, awesome villain.
Yeah, and he was obviously mentioned in The Mandalorian, so he exists and he's in there, and they mentioned him in real live action. Now you got all the other ones, Bo-Katan, Ahsoka. They're all there, real world.
It's
So do them.
And
You don't have
Filoni
to
we
kill.
trust.
In
In
Filoni,
Filoni we trust.
Filoni and Favreau trust for sure. But I don't think we need to. I think, like you said, just eat around it. You know, and in the long run, you know, just there's plenty of meat on the bone of Star Wars as a, you know, to the Red Letter Media guys. I know Rich Evans was like, Star Wars is what he said, it was creatively bankrupt. I think maybe like the episode movies are, because those have to kind of be in a linear spot. But I think if you do other things with Star Wars, there's plenty of meat on the bone. So just let what happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It is what it is, whether you liked them or you didn't. You know, like, we're okay on the prequels because we grew up with those. So you're gonna have a generation of kids that grew up with the sequel trilogy. And listen, Force Awakens now is going on 6 years.
Have you showed your 2-year-old son any of the movies? What does he think?
Yeah, I mean, like, he's not even 2, so like it's hard to grasp a kid's attention. But I'll show him like the opening scene to Star Wars of the the 2 ship of A New Hope, you know, the 2 ships, and then and then I give him stormtroopers, and he goes like whoosh, 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 whoosh. So I'm thinking he's getting it, you know. I'm like, oh, you get it.
I think
he was playing with the X-wing fighter
I think
the other day.
Clone Wars, Rebels, that's more up his
Yeah,
alley.
true. You know, I could show him some of that shit. You
I
know,
think he'd probably appreciate them more.
But
than
again,
animation.
he's still very young for that kind of stuff. So.
True.
Yeah.
I remember my uncle showing me Star Wars. I was probably 6, 7.
Yeah, that was pretty much my first original forays in Star Wars. My first figure was that original Chewbacca. It was a hand-me-down, but as a 5-year-old, I'm looking at it. I'm like, what's this monkey man? I was like, is this from Planet of the Apes? I guess I knew as a 5-year-old what Planet of the Apes was, because
they were on cable and stuff. I remember the Sci-Fi Channel.
Planet of the Apes?
Planet of the Apes a lot.
Yeah, they had like a Planet of the Apes show, like Journey to the Planet
I
of
don't
the Apes.
remember the show, but
there was a lot of Planet of the Apes content out there. And then
there was
from the
5 or 6 movies from the original run.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like
the first one's like a cult classic.
Well, of course, and it's just
Charlton
like
Heston.
Yeah, it's a
Damn
science
dirty
fiction.
ape. You know.
Yeah, you get your paws off me, you dirty ape! You maniacs! No, it's classic. But
Dr. Zaius.
Yeah, but those I knew it. I at least knew what that was at age 5 because I was like, "Is this a Planet of the Apes figure?" Because I knew it was an old figure. It was a hand-me-down from my older
like
cousins.
Kind of ape monkey.
Yeah, he's got the bandolier. I just figured it was a Planet of the Apes. You know, I figured it was a Planet of the Apes figure. And then I realized like shortly after, oh, these are the original Star Wars figures. But then the 95 figures came out, and I just went with those.
Big value figures are like late 70 movies that failed.
Sure.
Worth.
Oh, I'm sure if there was limited productions, you got one in mind.
So Lord of the Rings animated movies.
Oh yeah, like they did the animated show,
fortunes.
The animated movie of The Hobbit. Yeah,
and there's some other figures that are worth money too. Like there's Indiana Jones figures.
Oh yeah.
There's like just a horse, and
it's
worth like
yeah.
Horse on cards probably like $10,000.
Forget it. Yeah, because the problem with those was that first of all, they were limited production because
and it was people didn't like them. So
well, they were a good line though. It's just that it was a lot of it was that kids would go in the aisles and there'd be no indie. So a kid's not going to buy Marion and a Nazi. They want indie.
I don't think they
first
had
of all.
Nazi figures, but
I think he might have. There might have been a Nazi guy.
But that's like the failed lines.
Sean's gonna army build Nazi figures from the Indiana Jones line.
The failed lines are what's so much worth.
Of course,
so much.
because they're in limited production.
Limited production. No one bought them in stores. So they got yanked from shelves.
Yeah, I mean it's like the droids figure that was made in fucking Bolivia.
Black Sun card, Brazil. It's the holy grail. It's the Black Lotus of Star Wars figures.
Which is what I would call rocket firing Boba Fett, the Black Lotus.
That was like you had to steal them from the fucking Kenner factory.
True, there's only 11 produced.
This is actually, you could have physically bought this in a store.
Yeah, but not in America though.
Well, you went to Brazil.
Come on.
In the early 80s with the hunt and looking for toy stores, you could have found one.
So that's why like you have like the blue snaggletooth. That's a little more.
The Lord of the Rings vintage figures are worth fortunes.
Yeah. Again, like very limited production, especially I'm sure if they were on card.
Like we go to Comic-Con, which we're planning on doing, hopefully.
You heard it here first.
2021
COVID.
Comic-Con.
We're going to COVID Con.
2021 Comic-Con. It's scheduled to be. They're scheduling to do it, and we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
You'll see one of those figures pop up at those big conventions.
Yeah, and behind glass and
glass, lock and key.
Yeah, lock and key.
And he's like
security guards.
$25,000. Yeah. And you'll see people be like, "I'll give you 18 for it."
Right.
Know? But they're commodities in the collectible.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, the stuff like that is super legit. And that's like the final 17 of the Star Wars figures, like EV-99 from which. We have need for you at the Master Sales Barge, and I think you'll fit in nicely. That droid, he's worth a lot. He's like 400 off card. You know, because they were limited production. The final 17 figures were limited, and there was with the original Power of the Force figures with the little coin that came with them. So yeah, I mean, we could go talk about figures until we're blue in the face, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, as you can see. But I'm very excited about my original little set there. It does look nice though.
No, I enjoy it. It's a very cool piece.
Yeah, very
thank
cool
God
piece.
we didn't drench in
Oh,
coffee
man,
and
that was
beer because it
real
was very close.
Really close to getting drenched in coffee and beer.
But,
It's almost shocking that it
And
didn't.
then you were like, "Oh, where's the accessories?"
Because
like
the fucking
guns went
the
flying.
guns went everywhere, and those are like some of them are really expensive. Princess Leia's gun is like $75 alone. You know, I actually it didn't come with the set. I had to buy
And
those separately.
The studio,
The originals,
the
anyway, not the
Retrocade
reproductions.
studios aren't the most cleanest.
Well, there's a lot of
There's
a
a
lot
little
of
clutter here,
a lot of
so
equipment around.
it's
boxes.
easy to lose a tiny fucking
They
accessory.
clogged the instruments. Meanwhile, like the computer was like coffee all over it, and like I'm like not even giving a fuck
Yeah,
about
he's
it.
right.
We're actually really
Let's
lucky it didn't
take-
get destroyed.
Yeah, I'm surprised
all
we even
fucked
got
up.
the technology to fire
I was
off.
pretty sure that because the USB cable got all bent, and I was pretty sure that this wasn't even going to happen tonight, but we got lucky there. So not to divulge, let's finish it up with Wonder Woman 1999. What'd you think, Sean?
I thought it was absolutely horrible. I didn't finish the movie.
You didn't finish it. You didn't finish it.
So it's about a 2-hour movie. hour
That
50
movie
minutes.
was fucking bloated.
I made to about 50 minutes in, and I said, "This sucks."
Why
I
did
fell
that?
asleep actually, and when I
It
woke
took me
up,
3 times because it's on HBO Plus. So it took me 3 times to get through it because it was just
I
dragging.
envy you that
I'm
you had the
50
patience.
minutes in, an hour and a half
Did
in.
you
I'm like,
want to watch it? Your wife or I?
listen, I wanted to see it. I like the first
I think
one.
I
It's a
like-
movie to talk about in the
First one's
cast.
great. First one's great. I think Gal Gadot is easy to look at. Everyone enjoys it, and then you're like, all right, Wonder Woman, what could go wrong? The first one was great.
What
She-
could go wrong?
She was awesome in Justice League and her cameos.
Yeah.
So you're like, a likable character, for a lot of premise, and it just and the 80s is another thing. We love the 80s.
Love the 80s.
So
That
it's
that
like
I
a-
feel like though that kind of gimmick is really getting stale. You know what
Well,
I
if you
mean?
do it like that, fucking. And
It
there's a
felt
lot of-
stale there,
there's
but
a
like
lot-
I like that it was like Walden books in the 80s.
there was question marks, right? You have this precious, invaluable
Precious Venus.
artifact. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like having the Holy Grail or some crazy Ark of the Covenant type artifact, and it's in a shopping mall. Like, what the
Where else would you keep it, Sean?
fuck? And just like this guy's, he's like
Who, the
becomes
Mandalorian?
a witch.
Pedro
so
Pascal?
he becomes a fucking genie.
Everybody's
essentially.
wishes.
It's such a stupid fucking premise.
Yeah, the premise was whack. Honestly, that's not even the worst offense for me. The worst offense is its length. It's way too fucking bloated. At 2 opening scenes. It has the one in the beginning where she's in Amazon land and she's like learning her lesson as a little
See,
girl.
that was cool. I'm like, all right.
That needed to be cut short though. It either needed to be half the length or they got to
Was
cut
it?
out the opening scene with her wrangling up the guys in the mall. She was like, she's like the bank robbers in the mall or whatever, and she like wrangles them. And it was like those were 2 opening
If
scenes.
you're gonna rob a mall, you do it during the day when it's maximum crowd.
Yeah, like
5 million
they were
witnesses.
sticking up the Walden books. I mean, what is going
If
on?
you're gonna rob a mall, you rob it at 3 a.m. and
As
you
much
break
as I
in.
like the aesthetic of that scene because 80s gimmicks,
Walden
like
books,
Walden
yeah.
books and fucking
I
Radio
miss
Shack.
Walden books.
Yeah, it was fun. Those are fun little comic.
Man,
I'd like to read through the
25 years
magazines.
ago being Walden books, I
Had a
would
good time
give
there.
anything to get back there.
Yeah, but so that aesthetic was nice, but the whole I was tired with it. I was like, and then you look at it, I'm like 25 minutes these for 2 opening scenes.
Also, the
Bloat, man. The movie was.
Chris Pine.
Yeah, he was useless. Brought him
Came
back for no
to life
reason.
For no reason.
For no
and
reason.
made no sense. And he
Yeah.
was like another person, and it was
That
confusing.
was poorly done because why did he? Because it makes you be like, well, whatever happened to that other person? Did that guy just die? Right? Because it was right. They just took that guy's
Reintroducing
body.
His character was just
Should have just
stupid.
made him appear out of nowhere if that was the case. But
I
whipping
was
him.
confused.
Yeah.
I also was off-putting. Like, why is he back?
Also, his ending. She just was like, okay, kiss, and then got, and like, okay, so we're done with Chris Pine. Not like he disappeared or faded into
Like she
the
break
obscurity.
up with him after raising him from the dead.
Yeah, she just kissed him and then walked. Oh, you didn't get to that part.
I fell asleep, and then I was like,
It was like the whole world's in mayhem.
should I watch the second half? I said,
She's got to
Nah.
save the world, and then she just kisses him and like walks away, and he's out of the screen. But it's like you'd think it would he would kind of like disappear or something.
That was her love
She's like, oh,
interest.
so Chris Pine's gone now. Yeah. And this movie's supposed to be like woman empowerment. I don't need no man. And meanwhile, the whole movie, but I need Chris Pine. The whole movie, you know. So
It's
like,
a great Israeli accent. It's
yeah,
really,
that is my
really believable.
Israeli accent. So there's that, and then Kristen Wiig is like the bad guy.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Kristen Wiig for making her debut as a bad guy.
I
in
was surprised. You
comic book
mentioned
movies.
earlier to me how old she was.
She's 75. She's 47.
She's actually going to be in the Golden Girls reboot.
She's gonna be Blanche, or B. Arthur from this holiday special. Honestly,
Arthur?
she looks great for 47. She looks very good. Obviously,
I
she
thought
was
she'd be
working
40,
out. Yeah,
so.
you thought she was 40, but then how old would she have been in the movie Bridesmaids? This is 10 years old. You know, she would
30.
have 22, maybe, but no, she was older than 30 then. But yeah, she's 47. She must have been late 30s during that movie. But honestly, she looks very good. She looked very good in the movie. She was good until she became like a character was okay until she became
She
Cheetah.
was like
She just-
goofy.
yeah.
Like,
Oh, I'm goofy. Fuck up. Oh, and I envy you, and I want your powers. You know,
it was
just a lot of
just
it.
such a bad movie.
A lot of it was
And I
tired.
was disappointed because Wonder Woman.
Pedro Pascal being like like greasy car salesman.
He was like, "Oh, let me be a Donald Trump character." you know?
Yeah, very Donald Trump-esque, you know, at the end, of course, because
But
he's. Did you get to the
he-
part where he's behind like
I fell
he
asleep.
gets to he's in that president's thing, and he's like, everyone will get wishes, but he's like he gets to like NORAD or something, and there's like an emergency president's seal, you know, where like a president would do its speech on TV, and he's on TV and like doing his speech behind the president thing, and his hair is a little blonde. It's like you're obviously doing
It's
the Trump.
funny because he's so great, Mandalorian.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was such a buffoon in this movie.
Just direction and writing. A lot of the
He's
writing
just
is so.
like, oh, word, paycheck.
Paycheck? How much? 7 figures?
All
I'll take it.
right.
But all right, so Patty Jenkins wrote this movie as
She
well
should
as
be
directing
fired.
it. She should just have directed it, maybe. I don't
So
know.
She should be, her and Kathleen Kenny should be assassinated.
But we'll have 21 gun salute or. But my main problem I think really was that it was bloated. If you cut it down, if you cut out like 30 minutes, 40 because that movie's almost 2.5 hours.
Well, if
How
you
long was
look now, there's a big re-edit with Justice League, the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty excited for that. It's 4 hours long, by the way.
it? Oh, that's exactly what I want to fucking hear.
But Jared Leto just released images of him. Jared Leto Joker is re-emerging.
Okay, they're bringing him back. Yeah, 2 hours 35 minutes for this movie. You need to cut. You need to cut 35, 40 minutes out of this thing, and then it's probably a
You
lot
know
more
what?
watchable.
This is also a thing where I think it's a
Way
trend
too
that
much
we're going to
bloat.
see. There's a trend that we're going to see.
Tell us about this trend
Releasing straight to HBO Max, the studios don't give a fuck.
about length. Yeah, but that's a
So
problem.
they're not going to edit and cut. They're
but
gonna
that's
be
a
like, let's
problem
just send the
artistically
full schlock.
because if you just give us bloated schlock that we don't want to see, I'm not gonna go for
Without
HBO
movie
Plus.
theaters,
Unless you give me the option like extended cut, regular cut. But even then, it's like, all right, what are we doing here?
when it
It's all
goes straight to streaming, the integrity of the movies are going to suffer.
possibly
And this was like the big blockbuster that went straight to streaming. The first
way
one,
too
and
much
it was
bloat.
fucking garbage.
Like I get it, you're doing the big blockbuster thing, but this is not like you don't. It's not Civil War or or Endgame. Like you don't. It's not Star Wars. This is Wonder Woman 2.
This
It
is my
doesn't need
question.
to-
Warner Brothers, right?
It doesn't need to be 2 hours 35 minutes. This movie,
This is
like
my
it's a
question.
Wonder Woman movie. It's not. You know what I mean? Especially when the material that you're dealing with, the source material, is a little goofy itself, a little weak. The cheetah, you know what I mean? Max Payne, whatever the fuck his name is. It's
I feel like
goofy.
Max Payne was a video game for some reason.
It was right,
And it was like a PlayStation 2 video.
and Max Power was Homer Simpson's name that he chose. He got it off
well, it was
an air
Austin
dryer.
Powers.
It was Austin Powers. But
It
what was the
Screech
character's name?
Powers from Saved by the Bell. His last.
God rest his soul.
Oh,
he
yeah,
passed
he-
away.
he's
We're gonna shout out to Dustin Diamond on this one.
Rest in peace, Dustin Diamond. There you go.
Yeah.
That was another relevant nerd celebrity death.
His name was Maxwell Lord. Max Lord. Excuse me, is the
Powers
character.
Lord. There you go.
It's all the same.
My question is, Warner Brothers like, yeah, we're doing HBO. I'm sure they gave them an absurd amount of money. You think they're gonna put Batman on streaming? That's like their biggest movie in the last 5 years. You think they're gonna put that on? I don't think that's a streaming movie.
I don't think they want to, but if they have to, they will. But
I think
you're gonna put that on HBO Plus for a movie that
You know what?
costs
'Cause
$200
they
million
also,
to make.
They also delayed it a year. I think they delayed a year to release.
To
in
release in
theaters.
theaters. Well, when do our theaters open, Sean? Can we get a fucking answer on that? We're waiting.
Well,
We're waiting,
Staten
Gavin
Island,
Newsom.
Fuck, who knows?
We're waiting, Andrew Cuomo. So yeah, But so long story short, Sean did not like Wonder Woman 2. So you giving
Terrible.
this a thumbs up or thumbs
So
down?
I give it a 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10.
So you're
So we're
saying-
going out of 10 now. 50%. Yeah, I didn't horrifically hate it, but
I
totally
fell
agree with
asleep
you.
and
But
then-
I agree with that. It took me 3 times to get through
I
with it.
fell asleep, and then when I woke up, I said, I don't want to watch the other half, and I said, forget this movie.
Isn't that maybe another problem with the cinematic experience when it comes to like streaming? You know, you just tune out. You're busy, like you're on your phone.
Yeah,
you're in the other
fiddling
room.
around, and
You're
like,
fucking
oh,
hanging
let me
out.
grab a sandwich. I have
You're
to
in
go
the
to bathroom.
refrigerator. You gotta get a
Oh,
piss.
I gotta make a phone call.
Right.
and
You're
then
kind of at
when
it.
I'm
And
in
then
the
where
movie
am I?
theater, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is it.
Yeah, I don't like to take bathroom breaks unless it's an emergency. You know what I mean?
No, well, you brought up a good point. When you're watching at home, you get distracted.
Yeah.
And it's not the same experience.
It's not at all the same experience, you know. And I get it, like money is a factor here and all that, but the experience, the cinema experience is completely different. And just to watch tentpole movies that I want to see in theaters like that, because I'm not somebody who goes to the theater for no reason. I watch movies that I want to watch, like, oh, that's a movie I want to
Well,
see.
for example,
and it's an event, you know.
Another
and
movie that I watched.
kind of don't want to make these events. Like, I get it, it's convenient. And Gen Z is gonna love it, I guess. Let's just stay in our bed and watch Netflix, you know, watch this new movie.
Well,
but-
Gen Z, they can't fucking do shit.
They need
TikTok-
instructions on
that's
how to
why-
wipe their asses.
That's why they like TikTok. 'Cause it's like 2-minute
Lindsay,
videos because that's their attention span.
You're gonna all our Gen Z subscribers are unsubscribed,
They
downvote.
saw the word retro and they already canceled us.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's true. That's true. We don't have many Gen Z subscribers due to the name
But
retro.
I remember, for example, The Irishman. I fell asleep, and I'm like, I gotta see what happens, and I continued to watch it.
Well, and Irishman was 3.5,
That's a marathon.
4 hours of. I watched it twice, 2 days in a row because I need. It came out pretty much on Thanksgiving, like in
I
2018.
feel like it's big up
Which
your
was
dad,
19?
like your parents' wheelhouse too.
Oh yeah, my dad. Yeah, my daddy already. We you know a lot of the lines are already in the zeitgeist. You know a lot of the lines from the movie. You know, I can't think of anything off the top
That's
of my head.
Phil
actually.
Mondiello Senior written all over.
Well, it's another Scorsese. For me, it was an instant classic, Irishman. You know, it was just another one up there with Casino and Goodfellas.
I like Jimmy Hoffa and the whole lore. He was like the big Detroit figure and the unions and everything else.
America stops. You like lines like that.
He's
you know.
fighting the Kennedys. There's a lot
Yeah,
of,
yeah. I made Mr.
this
Kennedy,
movie's-
Robert Kennedy.
We're not reviewing the Irish.
No, we're not. We already reviewed Irishman
I'm
years
just
ago.
giving the example that I fell asleep, but I'm like, I want to see. Where
But you
this
wanted to
goes.
come back, yeah.
I wonder when I fell asleep, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this sucks. And I'm done.
I'm totally in with you. A lot of that though had to do with that movie's bloat. You might have been more interested had it not been 2.5 hours, like because there's so much in between where you're just like, where are we going here?
But
Like
if
we
that
don't.
was theaters, they would have cut it to 2. Easy.
Should have been. It should have been 2. It should have been 120 minutes, not 155 minutes. It doesn't need to be 155 minutes. Like, all right, we need, and then it gets goofy at the end with her, with Kristen Wiig becoming a cheetah out of nowhere. She's a cheetah. She makes like little reference to it earlier on. What's his name doing the Maxwell Lord doing the Donald Trump thing?
The
A
characters
little on
were
the nose.
stupid. The plot was stupid.
Yeah.
Chris Pine was
Unnecessary,
weird.
and,
Like
yeah,
he was
the whole resurrection of him is odd and makes you feel uncomfortable because like he just morphed into like what happened to the guy that he morphed from? Is he dead? You know the whole
I was confused and I was
and
off
it's
put.
confusing. It's a little contrived.
So yeah, Wonder Woman was a dud.
Spoilers.
It was a dud.
I'm assuming you're not gonna watch it if you haven't seen it already. It's been out for like a month.
It was a dud.
Yeah, it's a dud. It's a no for me. Save your time. Save your
I
HBO
think it's getting
Plus
off
money.
HBO anyway. It's
Yeah.
only like a 1 month.
Oh, 1 month thing, and then they're what? They're gonna put it to Blu-ray. Where are they
They're
gonna
gonna
put
make
it?
a lot of sales on that.
Yeah, who's fucking buying that Blu-ray? Is there an extended cut on the Blu-ray?
I wouldn't give
Deleted
that
scenes?
to like my enemy.
Nah.
If I saw what I didn't like, I'd be like, here you go.
I didn't hate it as much as Sean.
I despise.
I think there's some things.
I love 80s charm, and I was
right,
excited for this movie.
right. There was some 80s
And
charm.
it blew the 80s charm.
I just
Walden Books.
Well, I think that the theme, the plot of the movie kind of lames it out because you're kind of like, oh, this plot sucks, you know. So you're not enjoying maybe the 80s kind of aesthetic as much as maybe you would in like you see I like the 80s aesthetic maybe in the movie Pixels, even that movie was horrible. Well, or weak.
I missed.
so many
I
movies.
didn't watch Pixels.
Well,
I know it was like a Pac-Man kind of
yeah, another
big monster thing.
Adam Sandler stinker. Nothing too
Wow,
great about
Adam
it.
Sandler's. That's a shocker.
Adam Sandler putting out a bad movie?
No, I can't believe
No, that's not it. But yes, that's pretty much it. Anything else that we should go over on this episode?
That'll be all. But
That's it.
I think we need to do a Retrocade road trip. And
Oh, we're definitely doing a retro arcade road
if
trip.
there's
We're gonna put a
Kmart
real.
alive, we have to go.
We're gonna put a real date on it soon too,
I'm gonna do
because,
my
like I said, they're gonna
research.
show us a Kmart and a VHS video
If
store.
we have a live Kmart,
and majors.
we kind of have to go.
We have to. We have to set a. We'll set
If
a
we don't go
Sunday
now,
aside for it. It's gonna.
6
What's the
months
thing?
from now,
You
it's
put
gonna
it.
be closed.
You put it aside. It's done. That's what happened. The Kmart, the big K in Long Branch, New Jersey. I would drive past
It
every
was
time.
on our list. It was on our list. We
It's
discussed
shuttered.
going to this like 2 months ago.
Shuttered.
And we're
Big
like,
K is gone.
holidays, we were busy, and then
Yeah, I mean the months
Now
go
we-
by.
we
so
dropped the ball.
The Kmart is shuttered, but we'll be working on it. We'll come out with a new episode coming soon. Springtime's coming up. We got nothing but snowstorms here in New York, but that's it for this week. Everybody, enjoy yourselves and keep watching the stars.